is for every single session, I am putting it's almost like a table of contents, right? So these are the things that we're going to be doing today. We're going to be experiencing Flipgrid from the student side. There's going to be some time where I'm going to demo a few things for you. So again, this is a good time to take notes. There are plenty of resources that I've given you as well. And then Darcy's going to talk about virtual field trips and next steps and resources. So I'm going to go ahead and get started with the experience. What I'd like you to do right now, you're going to stay in this Zoom the whole time. Right? So you can be in Zoom and you can be in Chrome at the same time. I don't know how you have your setup. I have 2 screens. I don't know how you have it set up. But what I want you to do right this minute, I want you to think of about our question of the week. Okay. What tool beyond Zoom or Google Meet, we're just going to get rid of those, okay, has been the most helpful in distance teaching and learning? What tool? Okay, so it could be anything. I will tell you right now that I answered this question and I talked about, you can't see it because of my background, but I talked about my seat cushion. That's a tool that has been really helpful to me. I don't think I could be here, standing here right now without that seat cushion, because I sit at a high table and I have a very high, very hard stool that I have. So anyway, I want you to think about that. Now, it may not be the coolest thing. It may not be your favorite, but it's the one that has basically made this possible for you. Okay. I'm going to show you very quickly the demo of how a topic is shared. And then I want you to make sure your mic is muted. Most of you have your mics muted, because what's going to happen is you're going to stay in this Zoom, but you're also going to go to Flipgrid and you're going to record something. By the way, when you record something, you're going to be entered to win a $10 Starbucks gift card. Okay, so, and then heads up, right? I'm not going to give you the link yet. I will put it in the chat. But once you click on the link, you're going to go to a page to record your response. And I want you to make sure to click around to see all the cool tools that are available to students. And I want you to, I just want you to know that you can turn all those tools off. And the challenge is, I want you to look for the sticky note and the show topic. And what do they do? And how might they be helpful to students? So hang on just a second. I'm going to show you really quickly. I'm just going to go ahead and go to Flipgrid. I already have this set up. But just to go to Flipgrid, you can just go to flipgrid.com. Honestly, that's what I do. I don't have it. I don't have like a shortcut or anything. I just go to flipgrid.com. When you go there, you're going to click on Educator Login. And it's going to ask me, I'm already logged in, but you can log in, and you want to log in using Google. That's if you have an account already, and I'll talk about a little bit later about what you do if you don't have an account. This is actually showing you all of my groups. This is what Flipgrid used to call grids. They're not calling them grids anymore. That was insanely confusing for so many people. Makes more sense that they are now calling them groups. What do we mean by groups? We mean your classroom. It could be a whole group of kids from 2 different classrooms, whatever it is, however you parse it out, okay? But it's called groups now. So we have a WCC EdTech group. And these are my topics. So just think of each topic as a question. Real simple. So this is the one that I'm going to have you go ahead and go to. Now, there are a couple of things. I could either go ahead and open it up right now and go to share. Either way, I'm going to share. So I'm going to go to share right now. I'm going to click on share. Here is the link right here. I'm going to click on copy. And now I'm going to come right over here. And this is how you could use it in Zoom or in Google Meet. But I'm going to go ahead and share that in the chat. All right, so here it is. Okay, now before you click on it, just hang on a second. I'm going to show you what you're going to see. So if I click right here on this link, the title of it, this is just showing me already Darcy has put something in and I've put something in, right? But what I can do is, this is a little secret, the join code, as you can see, the join code is actually a link, but I'm going to click on that because that's also view as student. So this is what you're going to see when you click on the link. don't know why this is so slow today. Okay, of course it's slow. I'm going to join with Google. It's going to ask me which one. Okay, this is what you're going to see. Now, so a couple of things can happen. You can either click, one of these and watch it. You can add a comment to it. But what I really want you to do is record a response. So be thinking about that one thing that's made your life totally easier. And right now I don't have a camera on this particular computer, but you'll see it and you'll see some tools down at the bottom. I want you to check the two kinds of tools, or two sets of tools actually, that you can play with. All right, so go ahead and click on that link that's in the chat. I'm going to give you 15 minutes, but you're going to be in here. So you'll hear me say, okay, everyone, come on back. And I'll go ahead and put on some music. And actually, I'm not going to put on music because you guys are going to want to listen to things and all that. So I'm going to give you 15 minutes. Go ahead and click on that link. You can turn off your camera in here. Actually, you really should, so that you can have the camera on in Flipgrid. So turn off your mic, turn off your video. There we go. Does anyone have any idea what you could use a sticky note for? What students could use a sticky note for? Go ahead, Nancy.
So what I did is I put the sticky notes on it, and then I prepared what I was going to say. So I had exactly, I didn't have to do it like, whatever. I was like, okay, I wanted to say this, this, and this, and this. But then I couldn't, when I finished I went back and I should have shown what that product was. So I was like, ah.
Oh, okay. Right. Yeah. That's okay. I mean, you don't have to get, super fancy on this thing. But yeah, I mean, that's the sticky note is basically as a script or notes. And it pretty much stays in the same place because they don't want you moving it around, because the whole idea is that it's kind of close to the camera, sort of. So a lot of times we have students writing scripts and they're reading like this and you never see their faces, right? You see the tops of their heads. So I think that's why they made the sticky note sort of immovable. But yes, that's the way to use it, is actually as notes or something to remind you about what you're working on. And then of course, show topic is just basically showing you, right? And those were off to the right. They're in the upper right-hand corner of your record. Did anyone else see any really cool little tools that they thought were interesting that they want to share about?
Oh,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, Nancy, did you want to share? Go ahead.
Okay. I love the frames, all the different effects. So you could put glasses, you could do like that. That's really fun.
Awesome. Ted?
Sorry. Totally. Yes. The nice thing is you can move them around. I've got too many things going on right now, but you can move the sticky note and the topic thing around.
Oh, you can. Okay.
Yeah, so that you don't have to have them right in front of you. You can actually have them to the sides. So that's pretty neat. And then,
Robert,
of course, you have all the other stuff.
Right. Robert, what was something you liked?
Well, I was playing with the writing tool because some of my students actually use it for a script in their art thing.
Okay.
But I couldn't figure out how, I didn't understand how to put it into my actual video like my students did.
Oh, so their script was actually in their video?
Well, they might say things like, "This is my, my blue jay."
Oh, and they put their picture in there.
Well, they're holding up their picture that they've drawn, and then up to the camera, but they're not speaking, they're actually writing whatever they're saying, like "This is my blue jay" or whatever else like that, while the video is going on. I don't understand how they do that.
That's annotation, and that's one of the tools. So let me just show you really quickly. You're seeing Tim Taylor, right? And you're seeing the question of the week on the screen. Great. Okay. Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and click here. And like I told you, I don't have, and it may not, let's see, I might have to move it over and then it won't work. I don't have a camera on though. Okay, so oh, this is hilarious. Look at the pictures. Okay, if I click on record a response, it may actually not show anything, but the tools are toward the bottom, right?
Yeah,
and there
on
are
the second
several
part.
different tools, and it's so if I do import, no, it's not gonna let me. Let's see. All right, forget it. Never mind. Okay, so there's several tools. One of them is picture, basically like you can put in a picture. So if any of you watched mine, so here's mine. This picture up here, I just took from the web, and I imported it, and I could actually, before I started making the video, I could actually resize it, make it larger, make it smaller. If I wanted to, I could have annotated on top of it as well. But then I also added in the actual link to buy that if you're interested. So you could add in links, and that's toward the end though, before you actually post it. You could change your picture, right? So we had Ted, I think, has like a fabulous selfie going on.
Yeah.
So can you add your picture, or can you edit after you submit it?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's Ted. So basically, this is a really great way to hear kids' voices, and just like Ted said, I don't know if you were listening into our Zoom, but he was talking about he likes to use Flipgrid because then he actually gets to see the kids' faces. So you have to remember, right? We're in the situation where the kids could be seeing each other's faces, but generally speaking, they don't want to, especially middle school, high school. Oh my gosh, trying to get those kids to turn on their screens, and in other grades as well. But I'm going to say, as the mother of a high school kid, I can't get him to turn on his screen to save my life. So it's really hard. So this is one way you can do it. But then you're probably thinking to yourself, but wait a minute, I see everyone else's videos. You can actually make it so that only the teacher can see the videos. Yeah. So, okay. So what I'm going to talk about now, because I've got a few things I want to share with you, and I'm probably not going to get through all of it because I do want you to have some time to play. So some demo. So I showed you working with the topic. One of the things I do want to show you is that because I'm using this for people to put in by a certain time, and then I do a drawing, what I'm doing is I'm freezing my topics. Now, this is actually really good too, and I learned about this because I showed a 3rd grade class how to do Flipgrid, and the teacher and I were finding out that the kids were jumping on from the after school program to answer the question, but we didn't want them to answer the question anymore. We wanted them to be able to see the other videos, but we didn't want them to be answering the question anymore. We didn't want them making other videos. So let me just go through that really quickly. So here are my responses. Let me go back. I went back too far, of course. And now it's going to run. Come on. There we go. So there are a couple of things I can do. If you can see here, I have a couple of questions of the week that I've already frozen. Now I don't want to freeze it right now. I want to schedule the freeze. So I'm going to go to actions, and I'm going to go to edit topic. I could have also clicked on just the pencil, but I'm just going to show you a few things about this topic. These are topic only, not the whole group. I could do a lot of this for group, but I just want to do this for the topic right now. So for instance, topic moderation. If I turn that on, that means I'm the only person who sees the videos. Now, you may want to do that if you want to set something up for students to just send you like a personal video, like, I didn't understand that. Can you go over it with me? Or I'm having a really hard time. I have actually seen Flipgrid used in counseling situations where this is how they were able to get in touch with a counselor. Okay. But then the counselor was the only person who could see the videos. So they were very private. I can change the recording time. I can decide whether or not students can respond. Because we're all adults, I just go ahead and allow that. And then down here is the status, topic status. So right now it's active, but actually I want to set a date where it closes. So it opened on the 21st, and I know that I want it to close on, let's see, on Wednesday. Okay, so it's going to close on Wednesday. So it's automatically going to just freeze on Wednesday, which is great. Now I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to go back and check it. It's just going to go ahead and do that for me. Let's see, a couple of other things. So video features, right? This is where I can go ahead and say what I want students to be able to do, right? Do I want them to be able to use the sticky notes? Do I want them to be able to see a view count? These are all those fancy little things, right? Do I want them to add filters, stickers? Basically in here, I have everything. You can do everything. Okay. So that's very basic. I'm going to go ahead and click on update topic. I don't want to forget to do that. Let me go on back here. There are ways that you can provide private feedback, right? So I go back, here I am. If I click, so here's Kim's with the lovely hair. I love that. What I'm going to go ahead and do is this where I can do it? No, oh, that's right. You have to actually go to it, open it up. And right here, there are the details, right? I can put in a comment here. I can put it, I love that. That's actually a wig, isn't it? That's fantastic. Okay. So I thought that was a filter. Nice job,
I
Kim.
thought so too.
I love that's hilarious. Anyway, so so here is where, and I could actually, let's say that a student goes in and puts something in that is inappropriate and you see it and it's open to everyone else. I could go ahead and I can make it inactive. I can hide it. Okay, just so you know, it's good to know. But if you're worried about those things happening at all, I would say put it into moderated mode for sure. But here I can do a public comment. But here, if I click on feedback, I can record feedback that is private. And it says it right here. This feedback will only be visible to Kim R. All right, so that's feedback. There's also a way that you can do feedback based on a rubric. I'm not going to go over that today, but I've given you the resource to be able to do that. So there's a lot. Flipgrid went through a lot in the last few months and made a lot of updates, and I'm still catching up to them. So there's a lot going on here. So a couple of other things. So setting up a group, I'm actually not going to go through this because I'm over my time. But I have given you a few things. One of the things I do want to talk about is permissions. When you set up the group, you do not want it to be public. Okay, anything that we do with students, you don't want it to be public. You want to make sure that you put in specifically the permissions that you will allow people with the address that ends in @wccschools.org. That domain, wccschools.org, is a domain. You want to make sure that that is in there. You're going to allow students to do it. And you may also want, it's up to you, but I would actually put in wccusd.net as well. And that means you can look at it as a student because otherwise you won't be able to. So yes, Ted.
If you created your group through Google Classroom, it's already automatically limiting just to the Google Classroom group.
Okay.
So right here, you cannot set custom topic permissions within a Google Classroom group. So boom.
Okay, that's good to know. And also I do want to share that I have something here about topic versus group permissions and what that means. Okay, that you can set up whole group permissions and that will go with every single group, but then there are specific topic ones. So sometimes you just want the group to be, just wccschools.org and wccusd.net. And then maybe you want to make it a little more specific on the permissions. On the topic permissions. Okay, so let's see. So I have also given you, let me present my screen. I know you can see it's pretty big, but I'll make it bigger. I have also, there's some resources that are doubled up from the demo page to the resources. Ton of resources here. All of this comes from the Flipgrid page. I did find out, I had always thought of Flipgrid as having like super great help and support. But then when I started looking for certain things, I wasn't able to find them. So I tried to put in as many of the things that I think you need to know in here. I do want to share too, and I didn't put it on here, but I will add it, that they have a separate page now that is run through Microsoft where they can actually, and I'll do this while you're in breakout rooms, where you can actually go to like some of their professional learning sessions. So they have separate professional learning sessions that they run. Unfortunately, sometimes it's during the day, but a lot of times those are recorded and you can see those later. So what I'm going to do now, we have 1, 2. I'm just going to leave you all in here and we're just here to answer your questions. But I want you to pick something to do. Okay. But, oh, sorry, Darcy. Oh my gosh. Darcy, go ahead and go over your stuff real quick. Dang it.
Okay, yeah, I was like, I know
you're like, wait a minute, what? Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Pretty fast. Let's see, Laurie, you can just navigate to the next slide instead of me presenting it, but I will show where the Discovery Library is because that's super important. So this is formally called, by the way, the Disco Library. They changed it to Discovery to make it clear. And I'm really glad, again, just as they changed grid to groups, just makes sense. So for virtual field trips that are pre-recorded, ready to go, you could assign one to your class for tomorrow. You go to the Discovery Library and then you will find, it'll say Flipgrid Content Partners. And it'll be, obvious, like the California State Parks or, Joshua Tree National Park, anything with animals. And when you click on that, then you'll see all the video options. The second option that's on that slide is talking about the weekly. Thanks, Laurie. So you'll notice on her screen, so up at the very top, can you place your cursor on where it says Discovery? Yep. So when you click that option, that's when you'll see all of the content providers. And that's where the links are. Like if you wanted to have a Flipgrid that is related to Epic Books or something having to do with STEM, you can find those links all in the Discovery Library. Laurie, can you click on, go ahead and go down to where it says like click on where it says View All. Sorry, where it says partners. And I did link this in the slide. So yeah, right there, Laurie's gonna click so you can see all the different options. California State Parks is on the second row. Can you go down to the Elephant Preserve? It's the right second row from the bottom. Yeah, go ahead and click on that elephant conservation or whatever place. So in addition to the pre-recorded field trips and or the elephant sanctuary, they've got some that already include video clips that they've made there. If you click on the first one that says virtual field trip, you'll notice, first of all, that the length of that lesson, it's 1 hour and 15 minutes or so. And that's because if you choose that option, they're going to give you a link to where you can register on their site for an actual in-person visit. I already checked, they're none available for February, sorry. So some of these links, yeah, they've already got, like the California State Parks, they've already got pre-recorded videos that are posted on YouTube. And then they link to the questions that the kids are supposed to answer. But some of these also have the opportunities where you can schedule and book a virtual field trip. And then, Laurie, can you go back to the slide deck? So that's one way to take your class on a virtual field trip. The second way to have a live virtual field trip is through a partnership with Microsoft. Actually, back to the other slide. Yeah, so where it says register for a live trip, I just talked about what's in the Discovery Library, but they also have Flipgrid hosted trips. And I know this timing is kind of odd because of homeroom, but it's Wednesdays from 10 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. And I put the link where you need to register for that. for Black History Month, they have got like the one that's coming up for this Wednesday. It's an author of a children's book. I can't remember the name, but it just celebrates young girls and dreaming big. And it's just Vashti something or other as the author. It's wonderful. It looks wonderful. So those are just basically live streaming. It's not personalized to your class. You do have to register, but every Wednesday they have one. The grade levels, those span from elementary. Sometimes they're secondary specific though as well. And then let's see, now we can, the last part before we go into our breakout groups. So the next steps and resources on the top row, I linked some basic student support resources for you. Some are just posters that will help kids with the basic steps that they need. The middle one is in Spanish and in English. The links to the virtual field trips are also repeated there. And then I found just different resources for exploring what else you could do with Flipgrid in terms of making your own videos or screencasts, and also just some really cool activities or topics. And that's it.
All right, so we're just going to stay here. Okay, you can turn off your video and just go and you know, check all of this stuff out. Especially that discovery library is insane. And what's really great about that is you can go ahead and just use those. You can copy, you know, even let's say that someone in your grade level creates a Flipgrid that's really cool. They share it with you. You can actually copy it and use the same thing, right? You won't take all the kids' videos along with it. You'll just have the basic stuff. So definitely check all of that out. While you're checking that out, I'm going to go ahead and put the link for the professional development that is done through Microsoft, and I'll put that on the resources page. But go ahead and go for it. Just go, and I'll holler at you when I want you to come back to fill in the evaluation. Yes, Robert. You're muted.
It told me.
Okay.
I put something into the chat about I'd like to know how to add a Giphy to a topic, or the image to the topic, because I've done it once correctly, and then I never remembered how to use it again.
I can show you how to do that. Everyone else can you can just go if you want, or you can watch too. Let me see.
Because it makes it a little bit more fun with the topics, because otherwise, it's kind of sterile.
Yeah, like when I put in what's his name? Tim the Tool Man.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to go back to, so you can see my Flipgrid screen, right? This is the discovery part of it, but I'm going to click on discussion, because what I want to do is I'll just go ahead and add one in here. So I'm going to click on add a topic. So this is in a group that's already created. And I'm going to put practice. Add my question. It's right here. This is all the media that you can add, right? So I can either, go ahead, record a video, upload a video, but here's the Giphy. So those are GIFs, right? Or GIFs, whatever you want to call it. Oops. So you can add any of this media. You can also upload an image. So it could be an image from, if I click on this, let me see. You just go ahead and drop the image file, or you click to browse. When you click to browse, it's just going to go to your hard drive. So, and it has to be, this is important. It has to be a JPEG or a PNG. I tried to put in one that was not. I tried to put in one that was HTML. It didn't work. So you need to make sure that it's a JPEG or a PNG, and then they do have a limit size limit on that one. But then if you click on here for add a Giphy, I love this. I can just search a term. So I put tool time, and all the tool time, any of the tool time things that I wanted came up. Also, some guy kind of dressed up like Bob the Builder, but anyway. But so anyway, then when I click on it, if I click on one of these, I thought this was kind of funny. I don't know. And then I click on select, puts it in
I
automatically.
think that must be what I've been forgetting to do.
Oh, clicking on select
Is at that point on the as I'm creating the topic to do that.
Yeah. It's all those choices. So there are a lot of different choices there. I'm going to go ahead and click that, delete that. But there are a lot of different things here. So, these are the basics that they have, but then you can also, I don't know what this does if I click Google, but you can also put in your Nearpod and something from Newsella. But I don't know what happens when I click on Google. Huh. Oh, I can put in a link. So maybe if I already have the picture in Google, I can go ahead and put the link here and then it'll show up. So if you want to put in a picture of your class or, something else, you can go ahead and add that there. That's good to know. I actually had never clicked on that.